When I first started studying for the GRE, I didn't even know where to begin because everything seemed very, very convoluted. Until I decided to take a step back and examine how the exam was structured, then everything started to make sense. So if you're just starting your preparation for your GRE examination, this could save you a lot of guesswork. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam Adeboa and I'm a graduate who is currently preparing for the graduate record examination. And over the next few weeks, I will be sharing my journey with you as regards my preparation for the GRE. One of the biggest mind shifts during my preparation for the GRE happened when I decided to examine the structure of the exam. Because like many of you, I made the first mistake of just trying to learn. Yes, it's important to learn, but not knowing what to learn and how to learn what I need to learn. I don't know if that makes sense. So the mistake I made was that I just delved into learning, right? I didn't know what I should be learning. I just delved into learning vocabularies, math drills, and so on and so on and so forth. Because I didn't really know how much what I was learning with. And this caused the problem because it felt like I wasn't improving, I wasn't progressing, I wasn't moving at all. It was as if I was on one spot. The mind shift happened when I decided to take a step back and really examine how the GRE was structured, how it is structured, what the exam expects of me, and so on and so forth. I'm still preparing, but I'm sure that these few tips I'll be sharing, or me breaking down this exam structure, is going to help you fast track your preparation process. In this video, I'll walk you through the updated GRE structure, what sections are on the test, how much time you will have, and how it is scored. Knowing all this might just be the difference between studying and feeling lost and studying with purpose. So the GRE is a standardized test for candidates who want to get into graduate school, probably master's program and PhD programs, and it's most popular for schools in the US. So most of the schools in the US will require you to take a GRE exam so they can get into their school, right? And the test as at now spans for a length of 1 hour 58 minutes, unlike before, because the test was updated. That was September 2023, I guess. So the test was updated then, and now it lasts for 1 hour 58 minutes. And on the test, there are 3 different sections that you should take note of. There's the analytical writing section, there's the verbal section, and there's the quantitative section. That's like the GRE mathematics. So for the analytical writing section, this section demands that you write. They want to test your ability to write and to tell or to put forth a convincing argument. The question, or this section, usually lasts about 30 minutes, no more, no less. So it lasts about 30 minutes. And after this section, you move straight into the verbal reasoning section. And for the verbal reasoning section, you have 3 types of questions, majorly, right? You have the reading comprehension question, RCs. You have text completion questions, right? SCs. Then you have sentence equivalence questions, SEs, right? So for the reading comprehension questions, you are given a comprehension, a short one. It might be long sometimes, but a short or long comprehension. You are asked to read the comprehension, and from what you have been able to read, you will be asked to answer questions. And there are 3 types of questions you'll be asked to answer under the reading comprehension questions. The questions that will just have 5 options under them, you pick the correct one, right? That's one. The second one will be a question that has just 3 options, but you can pick more than 1 options to be correct. 1 can be correct in this kind of question, 2 can be correct, or the 3 can be correct. And for the third section, or for the third type of question under reading comprehension, this one you'll be asked to select a sentence in the passage itself. So probably they ask the question, what statement or what sentence in the passage tells us about so and so. You'll be asked to go back to the passage or to the comprehension, then select the sentence. So majorly those are the 3 question types you would see under reading comprehension. So the next one is sentence equivalence question. So for sentence equivalence question, it's like you are to choose 2 answers that give similar meaning when placed in the sentence. I don't know if that makes sense, right? It's like you are to choose 2 answers that give a similar meaning when placed in the sentence. In this section, for sentence equivalence, you would have 6 options, and from the 6 options, you have to pick 2 options that look most synonymous. I don't know if that makes sense. The 2 options must be very, very synonymous to each other, right, for you to get that question correct. And for the third type of question under verbal, it's going to be the text completion section. Another section is basically filling the gap. You have to pick the word that best makes sense in that sentence, right? You pick the word that best makes sense in that sentence. Probably in future videos, I'll delve deeper into all these sections and what I understand about them. But yeah, let's stop here for now on verbal. And on to the next, we have the quantitative reasoning section. And on to the next, you have the quantitative reasoning section. Under this section, you are tested on, I think, 5 different topics, if I'm right. Your arithmetic, your algebra, geometry, coordinate geometry, and data interpretation. Right? Those 5 topics. So when you are studying for GRE quant section, you need to take note of these 5 topics. And under the quant sections, you have 47 minutes to answer all your questions. 47 minutes to answer your questions. And these 47 minutes are split across 2 sections because you are going to answer 2 quantitative sections. I forgot to mention that earlier. For the verbal also, you're going to answer 2 verbal sections and 2 quantitative sections. And you have 41 minutes in total to answer everything. So one of the sessions has 12 questions and the other one has 15 questions. Then for the quant section, you'll be given 47 minutes to answer 27 questions also. And I think the division is also the same. That is 12 questions for one section and 15 questions for the other section. Also, unlike before, I think for this new GRE style, there is no break. Unlike before, there's no break, so you have to go in fully prepared. So let's move to the scoring system now in GRE. In your GRE, the lowest score you can have for each section, that's verbal and quantitative, is 130, and the highest you can have is 170, meaning that you can have a total combined score of 260. That's the lowest combined score you can have, and the highest you can have is 340. And for analytical writing, the highest you can have in this section is 6. It is graded from 0 to 6. So meaning that in your quant and your verbal, you can't score 0. You can score 0. If you score 0, its tantamount is equivalent to you scoring 130. And for most US schools, the aim is to score above 300. And if you are applying for more competitive programs, the aim is to score 310 and above. But if you want to stand a good chance, like myself, I'm shooting for a score that is above 320. So I hope at this point of the video, you have a rough idea of how the GRE exam is structured. So when I came to this knowledge, things became easier. It became easier for me to plan because I knew the topics that I was going to be tested on. For my quant section now, I knew I had to get back to my fundamentals in arithmetic, algebra, coordinate geometry, and data interpretation. For my verbal, I knew I need to work on my reading comprehension and all that. So what this helps you do is that it helps you streamline your preparation process to know what to prepare for and what not to prepare for. And also there are materials that would help. I'll link some of them in the video that would help you prepare. Materials from Manhattan, Princeton, Magoosh, and so on and so forth, and Kaplan also. So when I came to this realization, things became easier because I knew what to plan for, I knew what I needed to do. And yes, I hope that you also have an idea of what you should dedicate your strength to or your time to and what you shouldn't dedicate your time to. If you found value in this, in my next video, which I'll be dropping very soon, I'm going to talk about my learning process, the tools I use, my schedule, and the mistakes that I've been making, but I'm now learning to avoid so you make the same mistake. See you next time. I remain Samuel Adebola. Peace.